The Victor Auraspeed HS Plus is a compact frame badminton racket with a stiff shaft aimed at maximising speed. However, stiff rackets with small frames often mean it's unforgiving and difficult to handle. Is that the case here? Let's find out. So Victor has gone through quite a racket launching spree in 2024 as they have already launched quite a few racket series this year. There was the Korean Shin-chan series, the Chinese New Year series, the recently announced Marvel series with Spider-Man, Mjolnir and Iron Man rackets, the Thomas Cup Special Panda edition of the Auraspeed 100X, and then there's a few more Auraspeeds, namely the 90K Metallic, which I've already reviewed, and this Auraspeed HS Plus. So when I received the Auraspeed HS Plus, the first thing I noticed immediately was the smaller racket frame, or more commonly known as compact frame. It was immediately noticeable, especially if you're used to seeing taller Victor frames such as the very popular Thruster F Enhanced. Turns out the HS Plus is the shortest racket frame that I've tested on the channel, and at only 23.5 centimeters with a width of only 18.3 centimeters as well, easily making it the smallest Victor racket frame that I've tested too. And from my experience, small compact frame often means they're fast and nimble. We'll get into how the HS Plus plays later in the video, but in terms of looks, it's quite understated and looks very clean. Those of you who like a dark colored racket with not a lot of flashy designs might actually like this a lot. Although Victor states the HS Plus adopts the dynamic sword frame profile, which is also what the Auraspeed 90K Metallic has, but the frame profile of the HS Plus is a lot sharper compared to the 90K Metallic, which is rounder. Obviously, I've recently reviewed the Auraspeed 90K Metallic and it's here if you haven't checked it out. Besides the sharper frame profile, the HS Plus is also missing some of the indentation around the 3 and 9 o'clock region, which is normally found on dynamic sword frames, again present on the 90K Metallic. I actually think the HS Plus's frame profile is a slight update to the traditional sword design which was present in Victor's Brave Sword racket series, such as the Brave Sword 12, but with just very small tweaks around the area closer to the T-joint. It's a well-proven frame profile and is super stable too. The HS Plus's frame also incorporates a 45% recessed frame profile, which is quite unique as manufacturers either go top half recessed or fully recessed all the way. The HS Plus's recessed area ends just before the 3 and 9 o'clock area, hence at only 45%. In terms of grommets, they have been fitted with Victor's embossed grommets, which are now standard for all new releases, and the HS Plus have 4 sets of single pass grommets at the top. Remember to protect your precious badminton rackets from chips and scratches with the premium racket protection tape with free delivery worldwide on ckYW.com/shop. We also have super limited edition player signed prints too. Another standout feature of the HS Plus is actually the anti-torsion shaft, which points towards additional torsional stiffness for the racket, but surprisingly being paired with a free core handle. I find the free core handle provides that little bit more leeway and that little bit more pliability, which helps us a lot as players, but the downside of it is it does feel slightly softer compared to a traditional wooden handle. And seeing the HS Plus has gone the compact head, stiff shaft and the anti-torsion shaft, meaning it's stiff plus stiff plus stiff option, the sudden use of free core is slightly surprising. It also goes against all the other recently launched Victor racket designs too. They wanted the Ruger Metallic to feel stiffer, so Victor went back to the wooden handle. The same for the Auraspeed 90K. So did Victor thought that they might have gone too far with the stiff, stiff and stiff materials and tried to dial it back slightly with the free core handle? We'll find out soon. In terms of measurements, the HS Plus have a 7mm shaft diameter with a shaft length of 21.5 centimeters. Nothing out of the ordinary, but the longest shaft for an Auraspeed so far, as all the Auraspeeds I've tested had a 21cm shaft. Frame thickness was measured at 10.5mm thick, and as I've mentioned before, frame height was 23.5 centimeters and width was 18.3 centimeters. Oh yes, we cannot forget the 45% recessed frame too. The free core handle length was 17.5 centimeters. This test racket was in 4U G5 spec and rated to 28 pounds of tension, which was 1 pound down from the Auraspeed 90K Metallic and 2 pounds down from the original version of the Auraspeed 90K. Stringing wise, I had the racket strung with my usual setup of Aerobite string at 27 by 29 pounds in tension. So, how does it play? Immediately from the off, this one is demanding. Dry swings felt that the racket was head heavy, and I certainly didn't expect it to be head heavy as it was supposed to be a speed machine. However, because of the head weight, the HS Plus packs a punch, if you can time it right, of course. But because this was coupled with a stiff shaft meant there was little room for error, and that means if you miss time or catch it slightly off, the shuttle goes nowhere and you get punished straight away. And I say it's head heavy because when I swap between the current Yonex Astrox 88D Pro, the head weight feels about the same. And because the Auraspeed HS Plus comes without any stock grip on the free core handle, and I usually have a grab or wrap on top of my stock grip, so I had 2 layers of wrap on the HS Plus to replicate the same feel like the rest of my rackets. Trust me, I started with just 1 wrap directly on the free core handle and the racket felt so head heavy and my timing was all over the place. It was slightly better after 2 wraps. I also ran some measurements on the swinger machine to verify what I felt, and here are the numbers. You can see that even with 2 layers of grip wrap, the balance was still very close to the Astrox 88D Pro. The balance point of the racket with the bare free core handle is just incredible. But if you give yourself some time to get used to the racket, I found that shots that have bigger swings, such as power smashes and clears, where you have the extra bit of time to prepare when you're unbalanced, the HS Plus will do well as the head weight will be able to carry well onto the shuttle. However, the reaction stuff when you're under pressure that requires a lot of finger finesse and timing, the stiffness from all corners of this racket might be difficult for many of us. And for multiple sessions, I swapped onto the Auraspeed 90K Metallic and the difference was night and day. The 90K Metallic was so much easier to time and so much easier to play with compared to the HS Plus. The 90K Metallic was just a lot more fun in this respect. Granted, the HS Plus does feel stiffer, but it's almost like its biggest unique selling point is also its biggest hindrance at this stage. In some ways, it reminded me of the Yonex's old school Voltrix Z Force 2, super stiff, head heavy, compact head. If you connect with it, it's the best thing ever. Solid and crisp. If you don't, you might just have lost a point there. Also, given that this racket was launched with 2 big name players, HS Prannoy and Hendra, Setiawan and Prannoy have since swapped onto the Drive X10 Metallic during the Thomas Cup as well as the Thailand Open. Could it be that he was also struggling with the slightly more demanding nature of this racket and have gone for an easier to play racket? And we know full well about Hendra's legendary skills and he'll have no problems maximizing this racket's potential. For the rest of us, I'd advise for caution and patience. Not everyone will be able to fully maximize the HS Plus's potential due to its slightly more demanding requirements, but if you're able to, you'll be rewarded with lots of nice, crisp and solid hitting feeling with lots of speed. Until then, do enjoy your badminton and I will see you in the next one.